Hey, welcome in. Well, if you donated to the Time's Up charity, I'm sure you will be heartened to learn that the administrators there are living very well, and I'm sure are very grateful for your donation. And here we have the headline. It's star-studded Time's Up charities spent big on salaries, little on helping victims. Now, this is the way with a lot of charities, but not all, as we'll see. I've done a little bit of research on this, a tiny bit. This is from the New York Post, by the way. Says here, Hollywood's Time's Up organization that was set up to fight harassment with Reese Witherspoon, Amy Schumer, Brie Larson, and other luminaries on its board spent the bulk of its donations on executive salaries and only a fraction on legal costs to help victims. And this is from public records. Let's see. The organization, which is comprised of the Time's Up Foundation and Time's Up Now, Inc., raised $3,670,219 in 2018, but they spent $1,407,032 on salaries and only $312,000 on the Time's Up Legal Defense Fund for people who have experienced harassment. So they spent $1.4 million over that on salaries, but only $312,000 on what they were supposed to be doing, right? Again, I mean, this happens a lot with charities. A lot of the time it's just a good career move. But, $312,000, I mean, that's about 8% of the budget. 8% of what they brought in donations. But is that normal? Is that a good amount to spend on your core mission? About 8%. It says here, charity watchdog groups such as Charity Navigator recommend that nonprofits spend 75% of their revenues on their mission, the thing they're supposed to be doing, and 25% on administration. Time's Up spent 38% on salaries alone. So I took a little look at this as well. And I found this article. What percentage of donations go to charity? Well, here we have some well-known charities. American Red Cross. It says here, the do-gooders at the American Red Cross do a good job of spending your money when you donate. It says here they spend about 91 cents for every dollar donated on actual programs that benefit the community. So they're doing quite a bit better than Time's Up. What about World Vision? That's very well known. Big organization. They spend approximately 85% of income donated to stamp out poverty around the world. That's pretty good. Let's see, Doctors Without Borders. About 89% of total revenue goes to supporting their programs. That's great. Let's see, St. Jude's Children's Hospital spends about 27% of its income on fundraising and administrative costs. And it is important to note that fundraising, that's advertising, basically, because people need to know who you are, to know that you exist, to donate to them. That is a cost, but as you can see, these other charities are doing quite well with that. Let's see, the Nature Conservancy, 71.2% of their income goes towards science-driven programs, according to their website. So these guys seem to be doing pretty well. Certainly a lot better than Time's Up. I mean, they're spending 38% on salaries. That's more than the rest of them are spending on everything. So let's see. The Time's Up Now, the lobbying arm of the organization, also spent $157,000 on conferences that, quote, designed to build community and spark critical conversations about gender equity. Now, with all these famous Hollywood people involved, when they're talking about gender equity, they're talking about it in the most champagne socialist way that it can be talked about. And judging from the way they spent their money, I'm going to guess there might have been quite a bit of champagne actually drunk on donated dollars. Let's see, in June 2018, this is shortly after they started up, the group co-sponsored a retreat at the OJ Valley Inn, a luxury resort and spa north of Los Angeles. The retreat was dominated by agents from the Creative Arts Agency, who apparently had difficulty deciding on what the core mission should be. They pivoted from, let's clean up Hollywood, to, we're going to help all workers, said an attendee who did not want to be identified. So it sounds like maybe this thing really wasn't that well organized, and that may explain, the relatively small amount of donated money that was actually spent on the core mission. But what about this OJ Valley Inn? Let's take a quick look at that. Well, that looks very nice, doesn't it? I wouldn't mind staying there. Let's take a look inside. Very nice, very swanky. Oh yeah, this looks like a very nice place. Who wouldn't want to go spend some time there? Let's see. According to tax filings, the mission of Time's Up Now is to promote safe, fair, and dignified work for women of all kinds. And by all kinds, they mean left wing, right? So we work to make sure that women are free from harassment and other forms of discrimination on the job, have equal opportunity for economic security, and can achieve the highest positions of power wherever they work. And we're going to get to that right after we pay ourselves loads of money and go here, right? So all is well and good. Just going to interrupt for 1 second to say, if you like this content, subscribe so you can see more. Thanks a lot. Let's see. In addition to posh conferences, Time's Up spent $288,000 on advertising and $940,000 on legal costs, with the majority of that figure, $719,000, going to Arnold Porter K. Scholler, a multinational law firm with a powerful lobbying arm on Capitol Hill. So sound like some lobbying going on there. This is not legal costs for the people they're supposed to be representing. They spent $300,000 something on them. This is legal costs for the organization itself, most of which seems to have been spent on lobbying, which I suppose you can make an argument for, but certainly that's not the core mission, right? Like, did people donate for them to lobby? I'm not sure. Let's see, the $288,000 on advertising. Well, you have to get your name out there, but all these Hollywood stars involved in it, have lots of connections. Do they really need to spend that much on advertising? The people they know are all really wealthy, right? So that might have been some wasted money there. Let's see. They also spent almost $60,000 on travel and $112,000 on Rally, a public relations company. I have to wonder if that was really necessary. And you can absolutely say these are just Hollywood pretenders. So, Witherspoon, Amy Schumer, Brie Larson. So they're probably not very competent at running an organization like this. But still, $1.4 million on salaries? That's where it really gets sticky there, because they make sure that people are getting paid large. And as an example of that, Lisa Borders, former head of the Women's National Basketball Association, obviously she did a great job there, because that's really booming, who was hired to head Time's Up in 2018, spent only 4 months there, but she raked in $342,000 in salary. So that's very interesting. So it sure looks like either this whole thing was just totally incompetent, or just greed, or a combination of both. Probably a combination of both. Anyway, I would say if you're going to donate some money, you might be better off donating to, say, maybe the Red Cross, World Vision, Doctors Without Borders, because they're actually going to use the money wisely. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform, including Spotify. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time.